Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things. This is another short show. This week's been a week full of short shows. I've got to help my kid with school, and we've got to do a few things like that. But everything's all torn up over here, and I'm going to have all of this moved over there by Monday. I want to kind of get a jump on it, so I'm also going to cut short the show today so that I can move over there. It'll be great. We have to figure out the new lighting situation and everything. It'll be kind of fun. So, we're going to start today with some warm-ups. And let's get to work here. As before, we're going to go on ahead and set up our lines so that we can have them to work on. And with every warm-up, we want to do certain things here, right? So, let's go on ahead and set ourselves up with a pencil. I'll go ahead and do this and get the microphone a little closer. We'll set ourselves up with a... Whoa, way too hot. We'll set ourselves up with a pencil. Pencil tool here. And then we're going to take the pencil tool, and just like before, we're going to turn off stabilization. Because we want to show as accurately as possible here. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, elbow off the table, wrist off the monitor. We're just going to draw a line. 2 lines. Six, 7, 8. There's our first 8. We're going to do that again, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Still feeling like I've got quite a, at the end here, there's quite a bit of a spread. Okay, again, elbow off the table, wrist off of the monitor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. There we go. There's our warm-ups for the day. So we've warmed up. I already tell that I've got quite a bit of a spread going on. So let's turn stabilization back on. And now we've got our stabilization back into control. And you can actually see stabilization gives a lot of stability to the... It does a lot of work for you. So, okay, back to this one. We have one more panel to go, plus some fixing to do. We'll just go ahead and head over here, and we'll do this last little panel. Okay, that's the ink layer. Now we're going to switch to ink. There we go. There, so. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just drawing in on this canvas here. There we go. Now the truth is that with my signature here, it's actually kind of useful to see where the imprint's going to be. So I'm going to just draw around it. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Just like this. Okay, so let's go back and make sure that everything is whack like that. This is there we go. Let's just this. There. And that's not good either. Let's see here. So we're kind of going along here, and I'm just cleaning up the line work on this because, well, so I saved this as a PSD instead of as a Clip Studio file. So because of that, I've lost all my vectors, my vector controls, which is all right. We can fix that. Well, it just means that we're going to be doing this the old-fashioned way. But it is kind of a bummer to lose my vector controls, because I like my vector controls. Alright, I'm going to turn off the blue line now. Take a look at where we are with this as a unit. It's not bad. Still feel like we're going to need some kind of background for this. Background in here would be useful too. But what I can do is I can take these two and merge them together. And that will allow us to fill in things like her hair. Alright. That'll help a lot. Okay. I also feel like our little mouse, his ears are not quite as big as I'd like them to be, right? So let's talk a little bit about our mouse's ears. Right? There we go. He, for some reason, just comes across in my head as not very mousy. So let's fix his mousiness, his royal mousiness. There we go, much better. He's just mad. Right? Another mouse sitting over here kind of being mad as well. So this is all, I've said this before, this is based on a semi-true story. I mean, obviously, we never ran into mice that were wanting to evict people, but when we were moving into our house, or when we were looking for a house back in the day, long before we moved in here, we found this nice little house, and it was nearby. And we went inside, and it had been vacant for quite a while. Maybe it was vacant for, I want to say, plausibly 6 months. We went inside, we looked around, and it was a nice house. It was going to need some work. That made the price went down because it had, 70s carpet and stuff like that. But there were some nice refinements to the house. And as I was looking around, I noticed mouse droppings everywhere. And I thought, golly, and it was right on the edge of a big field, which means that we would have mice all the time. And so we were evicted by mice. So to some degree, this really happened, right? Alright, we're just adding adding in his little mousy feet. Our little mouse guy here has got a little shadow going for him. And then there'll be a trick of the trade. Right? There we go, we've got some grass at his feet. Okay. Now we'll put in the text. I feel like I can't control very well here. I've never been very fond of the text controls here in this particular program. But I have my own script over here. No, not Comic Sans MS. I actually have my own important fonts. I can actually use Gaichan Regular. Right? It will be centered. Okay. And then we will say why would you switch? Did we switch languages? We did. We switched languages. Don't switch languages. So it looks like 18 is what we're going to be doing. You know what I really hate about I have to reset the font every time. Wow. Not to home, wow. So people wonder why I bump this out and then move it over to Photoshop. This is part of it. Not only that, apparently hitting enter is switching me into Japanese mode, which is why we're having issues. I mean, you can see already, it's already back into Japanese mode. There's some real problems with control here. That's extraordinarily frustrating. Okay. So, Clip Studio Paint is a Japanese program. And I think that it's sensing that my system is bilingual, which is great, but I think it's then defaulting to Japanese, which is not great. So, Celsius, if you're watching this, this is one of the big problems that I have with Clip Studio Paint, and that is there are lots of defaulting to running Japanese, and running Japanese there's no way to select a bubble and type in the bubble easily unless you use the bubble feature. So, okay, Celsius, get your act together, because this is really the only thing left that I need to make this program work perfectly for everything that I need. Because right now, it's still easier for me to just move this over to Photoshop and work there. I'm not sure what this layer is. All right. Now I want to look at some of my tones here and sort of get the idea of maybe doing something like that as a toning here on this level for this section right here. And that's really what we're going to do. But we need to do it in the right spot. Caps lock won't help any. There we go. I know that a lot of this has everything to do with unfamiliarity, or whatever, with not being familiar with Clip Studio. But it is extraordinarily frustrating because my work cycle is being disrupted, right? Where we could be doing this a whole lot faster by just going into my my shared resources folder. And getting Zipatones, right? And that's, I mean, I know that it is extraordinarily powerful to use the normal operations of Clip Studio, and I'm aware of that, and I get that, and it is very powerful. I'm just having a hard time getting it working, which is an issue. Because I have built-in gradients like this, which I scanned in when I was in Japan. And I could just take this guy, right? To rotate just him. Ooh. There we go. And then I'll just go ahead and close this for right now. No. No helping. I closed you for a reason. There we go. I'm going to take this gradient and I'm just going to copy it. There. I'm going to take these two gradients and I'm going to merge them together. And then just so I can see through them, I'm going to multiply them like that, just so I can see what I'm doing. Go to the main layer, grab my magic wand tool, that, and then I'm going to also do the same thing here. I'm going to do this, and that, and that, and that. It really doesn't matter. Right, and then I'm going to go here, Control-Shift-I, inverts, and I'm going to delete. There we go. So, then I'm just going to real quickly, while we're at it, make sure we get this guy in the middle of both of these and all this side here. Okay? Now, that gradient just fits in real nice right there. Right? And then we're going to go ahead and take this gradient and do not save it. We're going to open. Let's look for a different thing for that last panel. Something bubbly. I like the sparkly star thingies is one of my favorites. Right? Because this is like, he's got an idea, and his idea is good. Right? So we're going to take this guy and put him right here for this panel. And do the same thing. Just go to multiply so I can see underneath it, right? Because that allows me to go, ooh, maybe I want to readjust it a little. Maybe, you know, like that. There we go. Right, take the main, and we do the same thing. Select the inside. There we go. Control-Shift-I, delete. And that deletes everything outside of that frame. There we go. And then I'll merge that on down. And at this point in time, this doesn't need to be on multiply anymore because now it's all merged together. The big thing I want now is something to indicate the backdrop over here on this. So we're going to open real quick. I'll open up. We've got a couple of like interesting fabrics that we could use. I've got this, what I call alligator skin lines, which I think would be cool, but not as cool as some of the other things we've got. I'm just going to look through my deleters here. I've got a water pattern, and that could be interesting, but, you know, because you're thinking you're kind of looking at the carpet here, right? I mean, you're looking past, she's holding the picture, you're looking past her eye at the carpet effectively. So, you know, what would we want on the carpet sort of thing? And that's kind of what we're looking at here. Cross-hatching might be a good idea. So I'll just go for cross-hatching. Let's do that. This new computer has not had let's take this, copy it. A lot of this stuff hasn't been used yet, so I have to download it off the web. All of my patterns and things like that were on my OneDrive. And if you guys are wondering where I got all of these patterns and deleters, I bought them from Joyful Honda, which is a great little, let's go here. It's a great store. I highly recommend it for anybody who's in Japan. But that's typically what I like to do in Japan, is pick up these deleter screens, and then I scan them in, and then I can use them over and over and over. And I have used these for whoa. I have used these for years. There we go, just like that. And use them just like this. And the truth is, I know that since Deleter has been working with Celsius, a lot of the Deleter screens are showing up on Celsius, and that's great. But I still use these, and they're far more effective for me. And I don't quite understand how to use the deleter screens that are in Clip Studio, but that isn't a complaint to Clip Studio. That is most definitely a statement of where I am as far as a user for this program. That's on me. That's not on Clip Studio. Clip Studio is responsible for text malfunctions. The fact that I can't use the text tool without it switching to Japanese is kind of disturbing. I guess the odds of somebody being bilingual and in English and Japanese and using this program, I guess, are slimmer. But I feel like a lot of the artists that use this program are probably mangaka in some way or another, and so it does seem like that at least we all would have the bilingual functioning on our computer. So okay. Now I'm also thinking that at the time that we've had before with our little pregnant couple, she was wearing similar clothes, so I'm going to go ahead and pick something for her shirt so that she is she's wearing an interesting clothes of some sort, something different than the last time we were here, so it's not straight up that we're using the same one. Besides, or that she's not wearing the same clothes. Besides, I actually have a bunch of really cutesy patterns that I never get the opportunity to use. So, I love the idea of being able to use some of these like flower patterns and things like that. In fact, they're so rarely used that you'll notice that this is still in like its original form here. I'm not sure whether that's small enough. Yeah, it's not small enough. It's just going to look like... Well, I'm loath to resize. That said, that doesn't look bad. Okay, we're going to have to do a tonal correction on it, because it's saturation that's the problem, right? There we go. There. So we'll duplicate this layer and we'll move it over here. duplicate the layer again, and we'll move it over here. And deep. And then we'll forget what layer we're on. That's important. There we go. There. Now she has a cute little pattern on her shirt. Right. At least she's not wearing the same shirt she was last time we were here at Connie's office. We're going to do some tonal correction because I feel like maybe that's not the choice we want to make. But maybe contrast is what we really want to do. No. I'm feeling like the BNC adjust here is not the same as it is in Photoshop, but that's okay. That still looks good. There we go. And now we're ready to save this guy, and we're ready to roll him out. So that one's ready to go out the door. This is a short show today, so we've done our warm-up, and then we finished up this particular drawing, and then we're going to move everything. So we're kind of shutting down everything on this side of the fence post today, so that I can get it moved over there. So that's where we are. We're going to do that here today, and then next week we're going to be broadcasting from about 6 feet that way, but that's okay. It's still a much better space. You'll get to see the bookshelves and all that stuff that I've been working on over here and making pretty, so that we can kind of get a good show going for you. So that's sort of where we are at this point, and I'm not seeing a lot of folks online at this point, which is okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So we finished this, and we're gonna move on to rearranging the office and getting the studio over there set up so that we can do that. So we will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and do well, and do awesome things. Keep looking at the stars. See you later.